There's two things I want to touch on briefly. Two things. Just for right now. Okay, the number one thing I get out of the way is I went back and I watched the video that I made about speed governed trucks, right? And there's something I should have talked about in that video that I didn't talk about, right? And this was addressed in the comments section, mostly probably by guys that don't even drive governed trucks, right? And I'm not gonna rehash the whole video. Go back and fucking watch it. But one thing I didn't mention, you know, is alright. So these guys in the comments section, they're saying, well, I don't understand why, you know, if it takes you that long to get around this truck, why don't you just drop back and hang out behind him and match the speed? Just drop 1 mile per hour. I mean, what's 1 mile per hour over the whole day? Eventually he's gonna get off or something like that, you know? Yeah, I see your point. They have a point. It's a valid fucking point. Here is what they're not accounting for, though. Okay, and this is probably because the guys saying this shit don't have governed trucks. Let me try to explain this, what kind of shit happens, and it has to do with weight and hills. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example, two different scenarios. Okay, say I'm driving along, and say of course I'm not speed governed anymore because I leased a truck, but when I was company, I was governed at 63 miles an hour. You know, like the rest of rails, trucks are governed at 63 miles an hour. And I'm coming up behind JB Hunt, who's governed at 62, right? So let's say I do what these guys say. You know what? I don't want to deal with the hassle of trying to get around this guy. I'll just drop 1 mile per hour and I'll just hang out behind him, right? He's got to get out over eventually. I mean, could be 3 hours before he fucking gets out of the way, but you know, because I ain't stopping every 30-45 minutes. I don't stop at every other TA and Petro. You know, I try to run no less than 3.5 to 4 hours at a time before I stop, if I can. But say I speed match this guy, you know, and of course I got the Bendix system in this truck, which is for those who don't know, it's we don't trust you dumbass drivers enough to watch what the vehicles in front of you are doing system. So we put a radar on the front bumper for the truck to do it for you. So with the radar on the front bumper will see a vehicle in front of me. When I come up on a vehicle, when it gets within about 300 feet or whatever, it'll match the speed, my speed, to the truck in front of me. I could go faster, I just have to press on the gas, but it will slow me down to match that truck. So sometimes I will just hang out behind a truck for a while. Here's what happens, is we start coming up on a hill. Scenario one. He's real heavy and I'm real light. So I could fly, you know, I could get up this hill. But here's the problem. Since, you know, he starts slowing down, I figure, okay, well, I'm real light, so I could just jump around him and get up this hill real fast. Well, let's say there's a whole bunch of trucks and cars and shit coming up the left lane, you know, and I can't get over, you know, so I'm slowing down, and he's slowing down real fast. Say he's real heavy, and say he's not even pushing it real hard on the hill. This guy slows down to like 20 miles an hour climbing a steep-ass hill. At this point, now I'm doing 20 miles an hour with him. I can't even get over because everybody's zooming up the fucking hill. I can't, for me to get over will cause an accident. So I just got to ride it out, right? And then we get to the top of the hill and go over, and then he flies down that fucking hill because he's heavy and I'm light, and we just keep on going. And every time we hit a fucking hill, I get backed up behind this guy, right? So what happens is like, you know what? I'm tired of waiting on this guy, getting stuck behind him. I'm, you know, losing all my momentum when I'm not even that heavy. You know, I could get, you know, so I figure I'll take the next hill. As soon as at the bottom of the hill, I'll jump over and get past him real quick. So what happens is we hit the next hill, and I jump over to past JB Hunt, and you know, just about the time my tail end is about to pass his nose, we crest the hill, and we go back down. He zooms past me, and I got to jump back over. Let all these cars go by, and then at the next hill, we start all over again. That's part of the reason why. That's part of the reason why I don't speed match one of these slow ass trucks and hang out behind him all day, cause shit like that. Scenario number 2, he's super light. You know, he's hauling pillows and teddy bears and stuffed animals and shit. You know, he don't weigh nothing. You know, but I'm hauling a fucking steel load and I'm heavy as hell. I'm 48,000 pounds on the deck or something like that, right? So as soon as we hit this hill, and remember, I'm behind him. I'm doing 62 with him, right behind him, right? What happens is, you know, we're going to go up the hill, and he's going to go up at a pretty good clip. You know, he's going to go up at 60 miles an hour. If he may not even lose any speed. He's so light. He'll go up at 62 miles an hour. Me, you know, I start backing, my speed starts backing down because I'm so heavy. And then finally when I crest that hill and I start coming down, I start picking up lots of speed. So what happens is, instead of just letting it ride down and, you know, picking speed back up and maybe dragon flying up to the next hill and just letting it coast back down, there's JB Hunt right there. He hadn't picked up any fucking speed, but he's still coming down at 62 because there's no weight pulling him down. So now I gotta put the Jake on and engage and brake hard, so I'm not smashing into the back of JB Hunt. I gotta ride the Jake brakes all the way down, and I cut out any momentum I could have gained whatsoever. And that's another reason why. And you'll see this all the time out on the highways. Heavy trucks that are coming up behind light trucks, and we gotta ride the brakes down the hill to, you know, because we're behind a truck that he's governed at 62. He hadn't picked up a single mile per hour, and our truck's trying to do 75 down this fucking hill because we're so heavy. We're like 78,500 pounds or something like that, and he don't weigh nothing. You know, so that's what happens. Like if we're cruising through Kansas or Nebraska and it's flat as a dinner plate, that's one thing, okay? Or maybe, you know, our weight is about the same or something like that. But, you know, there's plenty of times where I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna hang out behind this guy. I do it right now, not having a governed truck anymore, 65 miles per hour. You know, I get behind somebody else doing 65. But what happens is, like, you know, I got a light load on right now. If every time we hit a hill, he backs down to 61, and I got the system slowing me down, and I got to keep, you know, slowing down. Like, here's the problem with this fucking system as well, is if the vehicle in front of you slows down at a faster rate than you do, because the truck will start to coast, and then it will start to lightly apply apply the Jake brake or something like that. If you're so heavy that you keep building speed, or you were going 68 and this guy's going 60, as you approach this vehicle, the system will freak out and it'll mash the shit out of the brakes automatically, you know, unless you disengage it and shit. So it's kind of a hassle and shit. So, you know, if I'm doing 65 behind Melton or some other truck that is governed at 65, or another truck that wants to go 65, you know, if every time he hits the hill, he's slowing way the fuck down, you know, I don't want to hang out behind that guy. I'm going to go, but not having a governed truck anymore, I'm able to just pass him. You know? So, that's to answer that question for anybody who's still wondering. That's why you don't fall in behind the guy and just speed match him. Eventually, he's going to get off. Well, I don't like having to, you know, every time I go over the hill, I gotta slow way down. Or every time I go up the hill, I gotta, you know, slow down for this guy. You know, you've got to stay in tune with that guy. You're killing your momentum all the fucking time because you're trying to stay even with a truck that's heavier or lighter than you. You know, it's just a hassle. I just want to be able to sit here and ride up the hill on cruise control, and then ride down the hill and just not do anything. You know, it's clear in front of it, and somebody else said this in the comments. You can't see. You know, you don't want to hang out behind a truck going highway speeds because it impedes your visibility. You know? You never know when there's a backup coming up and that guy right in front of you, he's not fucking paying attention. He's picking his ass or something like that. This happened to me not too long ago in Chicago traffic, early in the morning, like 5 in the morning. You know, I'm headed up north trying to get out of Chicago. I'm out of Chicago, but there's still traffic. The guy in front of me, and I had some nice space in front of me, between me and him. He was way up there, right? And I'm just cruising along, and all of a sudden, boom, his rear axles on his trailer lock up and start smoking like crazy. something happened right in front of him, and he slams on the fucking brakes because he wasn't paying attention because there was a backup in our lane. So he mashes those fucking brakes. As soon as I see his fucking wheels stop spinning and throwing smoke back at me, I was like, holy shit, here we go, you know? And I had a heavy lumber load on, and even though he was way up there, I had to mash the fuck out of my brakes to keep from smashing into him. You know, if I didn't have that nice big ass swath of space in front of me, I would have cratered the back of his fucking truck, you know? So luckily I had plenty of space and I was paying the fuck attention. You know, as soon as I saw his wheels fucking lock up, I knew what was happening, you know? Fucking shifted my load. Some of my lumber slid forward a little bit, you know? Just a little bit, but just shit like that. You know, that's why I don't like motherfuckers hanging out in front of me and shit. If I can, I like to be free and clear so I can see all the way down the road, you know, so I know what's going on. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'll probably just touch on this briefly, you know, is like in my last video about, you know, just me talking about, you know, I pulled the trigger and leased the truck, you know, and now I'm a lease operator, right? You know, the company refers to us as owner operators. That's what they see us as. Now, I mean, I call myself a lease operator. That's what I tell people I am. That's what I put on the header of the video. And people ask, yeah, I'm a lease operator, you know, like the title. Oh, and this video has been done over and over and over. Like LaShawn Parks has done it. I'm pretty sure Trucker Brown's done it a couple times. This video's been done to death. But I'm just gonna say, like, you know, it don't really matter what your fucking title is. You know, like, personally, I don't give a shit what your title is. You know, and this goes back to this big thing in trucking, and Trucker Brown made another different kind of video about this very subject too. There's a lot of fucking bravado in the trucking game. You know, there's a lot of, like, motherfuckers with, like, something to prove. You know, and they want that goddamn, yeah, I'm a fucking owner-operator. So, you know, and that way they can look down on all this, you know, all the shitty company drivers, you know. Oh, you better get your goddamn governed truck out the left lane, because I'm a hammer down, because I'm an owner-operator. Like, what is that supposed to mean to me? Like, you tell me you're an owner-operator, like that's supposed to be some badge of honor. And I may have said, it's like, am I supposed to suck your fucking dick or something? You want a cookie? You want some extra credits? You know, you want some bonus points? What the fuck do you want? You know, everybody's supposed to fucking, we're all supposed to bow down to the mighty fucking owner-operator? What the fuck does that mean to me? You went out and financed a truck? You know, don't get it fucking twisted. You know, a lot of these guys refer to themselves as fucking owner-operators. They ain't fucking owner-operators. You're an owner. If you want to be technical about it, you are an owner-operator when you have the title to your truck at home in a file cabinet. And a lot of these motherfuckers don't. The fucking finance company has their title in a file cabinet. The bank has their fucking title in a file cabinet. So, you know what? Because you went out and bought your truck from a fucking used car dealership, or a used truck dealership, or whatever, or say you went to Kenworth and you bought that $180,000 T680 right off the fucking lot with 81 miles on it, you know, and you still owe $140,000 on that truck. You know, I'm an owner-operator. Like, you don't own that truck. You ain't gonna own that motherfucker for another 3, 4, 5 years. You know? So, look, if you want to call yourself an owner-operator, I don't have a problem with it. You know, I really don't. You call yourself a, you know, an owner-operator, independent contractor, lease operator, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. I don't give a fuck. That's cool. You know? But, you know, just don't come at me like, you know, oh, the mighty owner-operator. You know? Like, you lease operators are inferior because why? Because instead of me paying money for a truck from a third party, I pay money for a truck to the carrier. You're not lease. You're not an owner operator. You're renting a truck. I'm renting a truck. Okay, I see your point. So let me ask you a question. Okay, if I go out and finance a truck, I might have talked about this in my other video or whatever. But you go out to Aero Truck Sales or Peterbilt dealership, whoever the fuck you bought your truck from. Let me ask you a question. You stop paying that fucking note, what happens to that truck? What happens? What's gonna happen if you stop paying the note on that expensive ass or that truck you went out and bought? Say it's not even an expensive one. Say it's a used truck. Are they going to fucking repossess it? Yeah, probably. So you want to say, hey, you're fucking renting a truck. You know, that fucking truck ain't ever gonna be yours. You know, like I'll just go ahead and fucking say it in every goddamn video until these motherfuckers get it. I don't plan on buying this truck. I leased a truck specifically because I don't want to buy the truck. You know? I don't this is the best path to go if you don't want to own a truck. It's just like a car. If you don't want to go ahead and buy the car, you could just lease it on a 2-year term. And then at 2 years, you can either buy it or you can give it back. Same fucking thing. Now, if I wanted to buy the truck, I could. I absolutely could. I just don't want to. You know? So, you know, why am I gonna go out and buy a fucking truck, you know, that may or may not have a fucking... This truck's less than a year old. It's still under the fucking... It's still under the bumper-to-bumper warranty. You know, it don't even have 100,000 miles on it yet. You know, how many problems is this truck going to give me? You know, and as far as me paying the $600 a fucking week for it, like, okay, so I can go out and I could save a bunch of money on payments on a fucking used truck, but then I got to save a shitload more money for fucking maintenance because it's older. Now I got to really start worrying about fucking tires and, you know, components going out. I got to worry about shit like that on this truck. It's a 2017. You know, so I'm supposed to fucking bow down to you because you're driving a fucking 94 Freightliner or an old ass International or something. You're supposed to be big shit or something like that. The fuck? It's just a big fucking status symbol. You know, it's like what everybody aspires to be, you know. No, the fucking owner-operators. No, first you start out company. Then eventually you go owner-operator. Oh, those are the elite. Those are the trucking elite. You know? You know, those are the fucking... Those are the guys you want to fucking aspire to be. You know? It's fucking stupid to me. You know? To me, it's all business. You know, whether you lease a truck or you go out and buy a truck or whatever it's just, all you're doing is you're making a different business move from this guy. I'm making a business move doing this, you're going to make a business move doing that. That's fine. You know, but I don't see, everybody's got this big fucking twisted thing. You know, go out and buy a truck, go out and buy a truck, go out and buy a truck. I don't want to buy a goddamn truck. I don't want to own a motherfucking truck. You know? I go out and buy a $30,000 truck, pay it off quick as fuck, awesome. Now I gotta save up a fuckload of money for saving, to save money for problems I may have with the motherfucker. You know? Then I gotta worry about fucking downtime and having this motherfucker in the shop all the time and shit like that. Fuck all that. I don't need all that. I got me fucking almost new truck. It's probably not gonna give me hardly any issues. I'll probably have to replace the drive tires. I'll do the PMs. I may have one or two other small issues happen. You know, I'm not gonna have no major. I'm not having turbos and shit going out. You know. Anyways, it's stupid. The whole title's like, well, are you a real owner operator or are you a lease operator? Because them lease operators, you know, you're just renting a truck. You know, fucking like, so the fuck what, dude? This is all that matters to me is money. Is the fucking dollar signs. Riddle me this, okay? If I become an owner-operator and I go out and buy a truck, and then I could call myself a real owner-operator, and all you cocksuckers will accept me in the owner-operator club, the exclusive fucking club. You know, will I double my fucking paychecks? Well, I make twice as much as a company driver. Yeah. I mean, working here, I'll make the same exact fucking money. Yeah, I have cheaper truck payments, but I don't give a shit about that. you know, I'll pay the extra money to have a nicer, newer truck. Okay? If I lease a truck, am I still making twice as much as I was company? If the answer is still fucking yes, the only point in going out and buying a truck is to have cheaper fucking payments. But those cheaper payments come along with an older truck. A truck that's out of warranty. A truck that maybe came out of a fucking fleet that a bunch of rookie company drivers are beating the living fuck out of. You know? And it's out of warranty and it's just bound to fucking have the transmission fall out of it or some shit like that. You know? Like it just doesn't matter to me. You know? Fucking, the way I see the lease operators that lease a truck from the carrier, they fail every fucking day. You know who also fails every fucking day? Owner operators. They go out of business all the goddamn time just as fucking much. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then when these fuckers go out of business, they got trucks that they got a fucking truck note they got to try to get rid of. You know, or the engine fucking explodes and they got to go back to being a goddamn company driver just to keep the fucking note paid, and they can't afford the $20,000 engine, you know, because they didn't manage their fucking money right or whatever. It's all just titles. It doesn't mean a goddamn fucking thing. You know, I looked at the numbers of buying a truck and leasing on a carrier, and I looked at the numbers of leasing a truck from a carrier. Which was easier, which made more sense, which was, you know, which was going to cost more, you know, shit like that. How much I was going to make, which is the fucking same, you know. And I made the decision to be a lease operator. There's pros and cons to both. It isn't like you should try to become an owner-operator, but if you have to, become a lease operator. And a lot of guys say, don't even try to become a lease operator. Like, fucking... leasing a truck makes a lot more sense to me than fucking buying a truck. You know, there's a lot of motherfuckers that lease their truck from like Penske and shit like that. A lot of Penske trucks, they're leased trucks. They're just leasing it from a third party and then leasing it onto a carrier. You know, or maybe they got their own authority or something like that. You know, it's just, you know, there's reason to go out and buy a truck, and then there's a reason to sign a fucking lease. And because of that, I signed a fucking lease. It's a smarter decision for me. Smarter for me. Maybe not smarter for you. But for everybody to say no. Everyone out there, regardless of your financial situation, your story, your experience, your goals, everybody should try to buy and own their own fucking truck. What the fuck I want to own a truck for? I'm not gonna spend my whole life driving over the road. I ain't gonna be out here the rest of my fucking life. Why the fuck would I want to buy a truck? You know, go and buy a truck so I could drive it for 4 or 5 fucking years? You know, or 2 years, or 1 year, or however the fuck long I stay out here, and then go home? Then I gotta sell this truck? You know, that I don't fucking need? We got a sleeper on it and shit, I don't fucking need any of that? The fuck? You know, even if I buy a truck and go local, I'll just buy a day cab. The fuck? You know, doesn't make sense to me. If you want to be out here till you're 60 sitting behind this fucking wheel, staring out that windshield, yeah, go out and buy a truck. Makes sense. Save the money up front. Me? I think I'll lease my 2017 with less than 100,000 miles on it, still in the warranty. And then after that warranty runs out, I got the 5-year limited. You know? So, I just want to put that out there. You know, fucking, don't you drag owner-operator down to fucking your level. Us owner-operators. Fuck about all that. You know, I'm supposed to fucking, like, motherfuckers driving these 379 Peterbilts and shit. Look, if you guys got love for the nostalgia of the old days, hey, I feel you. But, you know, it's just, logically, it don't make sense to me. Logically, I'd never ever fucking drive a Peterbilt 379. It's got a long-ass fucking nose. You know, I like being able to see right down. I got a droop nose truck. I like being able to see right down there. I don't get this big-ass blind spot. You know, they're long as fuck. They got a shit-ass turning radius. You know. Their aerodynamics are fucking shit. Their sleepers and cabs are fucking tiny as hell. You know. But it looks cool. It kind of looks like I'm driving a truck from the 1970s. I don't give a fuck about all that. I like a comfortable ride. You know, it gets decent mileage. I got a nice turning radius. I got lots of mirrors and shit. I got a bunch of big-ass blind spots. Got a nice comfy sleeper. It's roomy. I could stand up in the front. You know, it's a late model truck. Runs good. You know, it's not, and you know, I ain't gotta spend Peterbilt money on fucking repairs and parts either. You know what I mean? Cha-ching, cha-ching on the motherfucking Peterbilt service, man. Yeah, I haven't experienced it, but I've fucking heard about it. You know, I'd rather drive my cheap little rinky-dink fucking International, you know, than those expensive-ass fucking Peterbilts and shit. You know? Them big-ass fucking... Like, the truck's 12 feet tall, but the fucking stacks are 13.6. You know? You know, and I've seen these motherfuckers from the 13.6 stacks. I've seen them whack the fuck out of bay doors and warehouses multiple fucking times because they forget about them tall-ass, dumb-ass pipes. You know, and they're loud as fuck. You know, you're trying to sleep, that motherfucker backs in next to you. All fucking night when you're trying to sleep. You know, or you're having a conversation and they hit the Jake going down a hill. Like, no wonder they have fucking noise ordinance against that shit. You know, look, I mean, you think that shit's cool, that whatever. It ain't my slice of pie. It ain't my cup of tea. You know, my Mustang's got a fucking loud exhaust on it, but I don't sleep in my fucking Mustang. And I don't park my Mustang and idle it next to motherfuckers who are trying to sleep. You know, I got straight pipes in the car. It's fucking loud. You know, but if I park in the neighborhood in front of some houses and I leave that fucking car idling out there, blah, 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 people will call the cops on me for fucking disturbing the peace because it's loud. People are trying to sleep. So I just ain't in all that fucking shit. I like my grass burner exhaust. It's muffled. And I can use that Jake brake in any fucking town or city in this country without worrying about noise ordinances and shit. You know, I gotta worry about whacking them fucking pipes on something because they're 13.6 on a 12-foot truck. You know? Just say it. You know? You want to owner-op? You want to be an actual... You want to consider yourself an owner-op and go out and finance that fucking 379? You go right ahead. So don't come at me like you're some fucking special shit. You know? You do you, I'm gonna do me. You know? What's good for one may not be good for some. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm done. Done with this rant. I'll make another video later talking about, maybe in a couple of days, talking about, you know, how I've been doing the last couple of days. Miles, money, you know, running on percentage and shit like that. I haven't even completed the week yet. Haven't even got my first settlement yet, so I'm not gonna get into all that shit just yet. But, you know, once I do get my first settlement, I'll talk about it with you guys, let you know, some of the things that are going on with that. That's it, I'm done. I'll talk to you guys real soon.